Hello there, I'm Mark Hildum, one of 3 founders of an unusual startup called EnAML. I'd like to introduce you to To-Go, our enterprise application mobility layer, or as we call the standard, EnAML. Unusual because we've all worked together for more than 6 years. Unusual because we've done this once before with an earlier solution addressing a similar market. It was rated #1 in the world by Gartner in 2012, above solutions from IBM, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, and others. We were also recognized as a Cool Vendor of the Year. Unusual because we chose to start EnAML simultaneously in the US and in the UK. Unusual because we do all of our development in the US. Unusual in that we have partnerships with some of the largest solution vendors and telcos in the world. Unusual because we've already won a number of challenges and through them, customers and partners. The background to To-Go is that we developed the solution as a response to a problem employers faced while trying to make full use of their BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device, strategies. They were looking to gain full working access to many of their important and critical enterprise applications, which were key to their organizations, such as ERP, CRM, HCM, and BI, to name a few. This problem still exists today. In a recent study done by Epicor, they surveyed approximately 2,000 companies and found that 85% of those companies had policies in place to enable BYOD. In the same study, they then asked the users what they were using their mobile devices for. The response was alarming. Only 25% of the users said that they had even just basic access to any of their enterprise applications outside of email. We could conclude that the users simply don't want to have access to any of these systems on their mobile devices, and therefore the large disparity. However, on the contrary, from this study it was learned that the #1 requested feature for these enterprise systems was for mobile access. With this glaring problem staring everyone in the face, surely it has already been solved. Surely the large enterprise vendors have already addressed this. The quick answer is, they haven't. Although the claim is that they've been working on this for years, the facts show that the users are still left without a comprehensive solution. We feel that we have a completely unique approach to solving this problem. So why hasn't this problem already been solved? Because it is complex, and in order to solve the problem, we need to have both the experience and background to see all the facets of why the others have been unsuccessful in solving it. There are 3 main parts. The first is that the majority of these enterprise systems use technologies that are simply not compatible with mobile devices. Flash, Flex, Silverlight, ActiveX, Java, and native applications work great on the desktop, but not on the devices we carry around in our pockets. And the HTML5 versions of the applications have brought some compatibility, but they still lack parity to the systems that the users are used to. The second challenge lies in knowing just how end users want to leverage and use their mobile devices with their enterprise systems, and then ensuring that the application on the device is developed with that in mind. The third and final challenge actually has several parts. It is that there are many parties in an organization that are affected by the implementation of a mobile solution, and in order to be successful, all of their goals need to be considered and addressed in parallel so that a comprehensive solution can meet all of their needs. Solving a problem for just one, but ignoring the others, leads to failure and ultimately low user adoption. So starting at the top and moving clockwise. Those in IT want to be assured that the implementation will be quick and simple, yet comprehensive to ideally meet the needs across multiple enterprise systems. They want to be able to leverage all of their current third-party software solutions and anything that has been customized for their business. The users want deployment to be straightforward. Ideally, one that leverages their existing workflow and current system knowledge. They want parity in the functionality between what they're able to do on their mobile device and what they're able to accomplish on their desktop or laptop. They don't want to maintain a mental catalog of features that work in one environment, but then don't work in the other. The developers don't want to build, then maintain duplicate systems. They want to continue to leverage their existing content, such as reports and data visualizations, regardless of whether they're compatible with mobile systems or not. And they certainly don't want to build and manage duplicate systems just because of mobility. Security want to ensure that vital information is not at risk in the case of the loss or theft of a mobile device. Finance are looking for an enhanced return on investment from their existing systems, while avoiding the costly proposition of redeveloping or duplicating them. Executives are looking for increased efficiency across the organization. That can come from mobility, but are concerned that it could bring disruption if not managed well. In order to be successful in enterprise mobility, you need experience in all of these areas. Current failures in mobility can be boiled down to a disconnect with any one of these parts here. The key to success in solving this problem is starting with the right team, beginning with the founders, who have experience in the broad enterprise market and bring the talent and vision to avoid the pitfalls others, including the large enterprise vendors, have succumbed to. Additionally, feedback from advisory boards bring checks and balances into the direction. Together with our team, we created a solution to the mobility challenge, and it is called To-Go. Just as the name suggests, a user can leverage any of their enterprise applications on their mobile device and simply go. Customers use To-Go to mobilize their critical enterprise applications. For example, the Metropolitan Police of London use To-Go to access their business intelligence system so that they can view and interact with real-time crime information. Marks & Spencer are using it with their property division and their refurbishment program. BMW with their dealer management dashboards around the UK. And Bayer, one of the newest on the list, are planning to use To-Go for their quality control and manufacturing systems in their animal health operations. We have already won a series of awards that has led to sponsorships and support from strong organizations. We won the Dell Startup and Residence Challenge, as well as the Telefonica Wayra Challenge. These have also led to great partnerships. We've signed contracts with Telefonica O2 in the UK for them to resell to their customer base. We've also signed contracts with Dell to accelerate the sell of To-Go in 34 countries around the globe. Orange Business Services are using it for their business performance systems. To facilitate the process around a major bid for business, Telefonica used To-Go to give their prospect dynamic visibility into the reporting processes. Our most recent partner, Carriage, an ERP company out of the UK, are able to mobilize their entire ERP application stack with To-Go. We firmly believe in a try-before-you-buy experience, and these are a few of the companies that are in the POC processes. Our technology has four main parts: the To-Go device app, represented here to the left with the iPad, the license validation server, which sits in the cloud and validates that the device is properly licensed, the To-Go VPN gateway, which is an optional component in the case that the organization doesn't have their own VPN gateway, and lastly, the To-Go server. The To-Go server can be implemented either in on-premise or in the cloud. When on-premise, it can be either a physical or virtual environment. The To-Go server does almost all of the heavy lifting. It is responsible for the real-time and encrypted communication between the mobile device and the enterprise application or applications. If there are enterprise applications that require a client, this is where the client is usually installed. It is important to stress that the To-Go server is not pushing enterprise application data to the mobile device. At no time is the app storing any of the enterprise application data. The To-Go server encrypts and pushes only the visual representation of the enterprise application to the mobile device. So in the case of an on-premise implementation, no enterprise data actually ever leaves the premises. Only the visual representation, and more specifically, the delta of those visual changes, are communicated to the mobile device. The To-Go server optimizes this communication and streams it so fast that to the user, the experience is as if the enterprise application was actually installed on their mobile device. But it is not. Additionally, where the To-Go server has the horsepower to run all sorts of large enterprise client applications, the user's experience is that they have available to them huge amounts of processing power to complete their tasks. Power and speed far beyond what the mobile device would be capable of. The To-Go application on the device and the To-Go server function as a pair. Just as the enterprise application is streamed in real time to the device decodes and returns commands and gestures back to the To-Go server, which then communicates those instructions to the enterprise application. This again happens so fast that to the end user, it seems instantaneous, even in instances where the user and the enterprise applications are on different continents. For To-Go in the cloud, we have built an optimized system within the AWS infrastructure. Upon the launch of the To-Go app on the mobile device, The system knows how to optimize the connection for the best performance and load across the globe. The system is not only location aware, but performance aware. For example, let's say that a person is traveling and is currently in Madrid, Spain. They launch To Go so that they can get access to their enterprise application that is located, say, in the United States, in Atlanta. In this scenario, the person would likely be connected to the To Go backbone coming in through Frankfurt. That seems logical because it's the closest to Spain. However, if the connection to Frankfurt for some reason was slower than Ireland, then it would be automatically routed through Ireland. So no matter where I am on the globe, To Go is designed to optimize my experience. So now let's see To Go in action. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll securely connect to a To Go server located in Frankfurt, Germany, that will then connect to other enterprise application servers located in the US, UK, and Ireland. Now, I'm personally located in Atlanta in the southeast of the United States. Now, while for the most part users would likely connect to infrastructures located in the same continent, I thought it would be helpful to demonstrate what it's like to connect to systems that are located all over the world. So let's jump into this. I'm going to launch To Go on my mobile device. Based on my profile and what I've selected as my favorite application, To Go will securely connect to a To Go server, in this case in Frankfurt, and auto-launch the top favorite application. In this case, it's a Java-based ERP application that has lots of customization in it. And for the record, it's located in the UK. Now we'll come back to this application in a minute. First, let's talk about the toolbar. The toolbar is intelligent and will auto-close itself to give the user full screen control of the application that they're using. However, it can also be pinned to the screen and stay available should the user prefer that. The toolbar is easily available by a swipe from the left side of the screen. So let's start with the Applications button. Here are all the applications that I have been granted access to and are available to me. I can simply swipe up and down to identify and then launch any specific one. So let's quickly open up a series of different applications. Some of these are pretty significant applications that normally require lots of horsepower to run. They may be Flash-based applications, Java applications, Silverlight. To date, we have yet to have an application that we couldn't run with To Go. They can also be full-featured Office applications. Now let's say that there is one application in particular that I would like to have and be available to me as part of my favorites. To make that application one of my favorites, I simply long press on the application icon and then tap Add to Favorites. You'll see that going forward, that a star will be appended to any application icon that I've selected as a favorite. What this has done is simply mark this application to be part of my favorites list. This is particularly helpful when a user is granted access to lots of applications. Now, in my favorite applications, I can affect the order of my favorites list. If you remember, when the To Go application initially launched, it launched with this same ERP application that is on the top of this list. So any application that I put at the top of the list will be the enterprise application that To Go will automatically start with when it initiates. So if I want a different application to be my starting application, I simply long press on the application icon and push it to the top of the list. Additionally, if I want to remove any application from my favorites, when I long press, I can select to remove it. So since we began, we've been opening up a series of different applications, and as we use To Go, we might need to quickly get back to or reference something that we previously had open. Here in the History button, I can see a list of all the applications that I've connected to. They are listed in descending order with the most recent at the top. So to quickly go to any application, I simply select it, and there I am. This is particularly helpful where I need to leverage multiple enterprise applications and jump between them. So let's talk about the buttons located at the top of the bar. On certain applications, it's helpful to be able to move forward or backwards within an application. Web-based applications are a good example where this is helpful. In this instance, I'm navigating through a document management system and opening up Flash-based reports. I can use the forward or back button to navigate through the application. At this point, it's probably helpful to talk about some of the gestures that we have available to a user. Although the button bar is quite helpful, To Go recognizes and uses a whole series of optional gestures. For example, just like I can use the forward button or backward button, I can do the same thing by just swiping with two fingers to the left or to the right. If we're in an application where pinching and zooming would be helpful, we can use 2 fingers to zoom into something for more detail and then pan around. Some applications have entire menu options that are generally available by using a right-click. With To Go, you simply tap with 2 fingers and then select anywhere you would like to have that right-click menu. In this case, perhaps it would be helpful to have this data in Excel. If I need to select something to drag it around the screen, I can simply tap and hold, and then move it around just like I normally would. Or, if I need to select a whole section of text, or, in this case, cells in Excel, I just tap and drag my finger to select the cells. Again, if I want to have a right-click menu, I tap using 2 fingers and then touch anywhere I want that menu. In this case, let's copy and paste these cells further down the spreadsheet. As you can see, I'm also pinching and zooming as much or as little as I need to make things easy and effortless. Let me show you a few more examples of how gestures work. To do that, I'm going to go back to the ERP application, and then I'll open up a purchase order window. When using some of the new gestures, it can be helpful to turn on the Show Gestures setting. With this setting turned on, it will map out and display any gestures that I do on the screen. If the gesture that I do is not one To Go recognizes, it will draw that gesture in red. So, for example, I'll scribble on my screen with my finger. See, it's red. However, if I do the checkmark gesture, symbolizing that I'm done with this window, then To Go will recognize that gesture, mark it in blue, and close it. If it's not obvious, the checkmark gesture is particularly helpful when working with various enterprise applications that spawn lots of windows or screens for data entry, etc. To Go uses the gestures whether the Show Gestures is turned on or off in the settings. There is a whole library of gestures that are available to users, and they can be found within the settings page. So now, let's talk about the keyboard button. The keyboard button can actually be quite powerful. Yes, it can open up the standard device keyboard, but often we need something even more powerful. Let's say, for example, that within an ERP application, we're accustomed to using function keys or multiple key combinations such as Shift plus Control, etc. For users who can benefit from a more comprehensive keyboard, they can turn on the additional To Go keyboards to support them. To make these keyboards available to you, you'll simply need to enable them on the device. To do this, go to the device settings, choose General, then Keyboard, tap Keyboards, and then Add New Keyboard. You will see that you will be able to select the To Go keyboards here. In this case, I'll enable the US keyboard. Now when I go back to Go, where I have my ERP application, when I bring up the keyboard, I can see that I have the new keyboard I made available. Now I can quickly call up my purchase control requisition by pressing F4. Even multiple command keys can be used here. To toggle back to the standard iOS keyboard, I can simply press the small globe icon next to the spacebar, and going forward, I can bring up the To Go keyboard by pressing the same button. Also note that it isn't necessary to use the toolbar to always call up the keyboard. I can easily toggle the keyboard on and off by using a 2-finger double tap anywhere on the screen. Now let's say that I'm on the road, and I want to enter in some details to an order page. If I were in the office, I would quickly type the details on my PC. But now that I'm on the road, how can I be just as functional? Yes, keyboards are available for me on my mobile device, but wouldn't it be easy if I could just simply dictate my notes from my device all the way into my order entry system, directly? Well, To Go lets me do just that by automatically integrating Siri to my enterprise application. Please ensure that this order is rushed and notify Frank Burton upon shipment. Now I can quickly jump from application to application where I can quickly and comprehensively enter in any details and notes. Hopefully this demonstration will help you in recognizing some of the features that To Go can help you in navigating and working with your enterprise applications.